Welcome, welcome. A few more people are joining. So let's get heavy in our hips on the block or the blanket. Now let's just take a moment and close our eyes, becoming present to our practice, present to our bodies and our breath in this very moment. So at the next inhale, feel your hips root into your blanket or your block. And then inhale, lengthen from the tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. Imagine an imaginary thread gently lifting you from the tailbone all the way up to the crown. And the next inhale, let's lift our shoulders and roll them up and back. And let the shoulder blades soften down the back. Your eyes can be closed or soft. With the next inhale, expand in the back body. Feel the breath fill the lungs in the back body like you have wings that are growing. So it kind of gently lifts the shoulder blades and expands in the chest and the shoulders. And then as you exhale, soften. But try to keep that fullness and expansion in the upper body. Beautiful. So with the next breath, let's draw our ribs back a little bit as we move more into our back body, more awareness into the back body as we breathe and expanding. And the back body again, imagine there's like wings filling, that your shoulder blades are like wings as you fill and expanding. It's becoming lighter. Exhale, blow it out like you're blowing out candles. Letting go of your day, letting go of thoughts. Let's blow it out. And take a couple breaths like this. Inhale, expanding into the back body, expanding those wings. The shoulders expand, the ribs expand. Exhaling, softening the hips towards the earth, blowing it out like a sigh through your mouth. One more big inhale like this. Big wings. Expand the wings even more. Exhaling, softening, blowing it out. Now, keeping the eyes closed or soft if you want to gently gaze at the earth, just notice the breath coming in and out. And count to yourself on the inhale for 5, exhaling for 5. Trying to make the breath as even as possible. As smooth as possible. And if you want to elongate the breath even longer, if that feels good for you, or shorter, you can do that. Let's do 2 more rounds. We call it samavritti, with even breath coming in and even breath going out, with the even amount of time and even flow in and out. It helps to create a calmness in the mind and in the nervous system. So coming to your natural flow of breath, keeping your awareness on the breath, the softness that's happening in the body, the calm that's starting to happen in the mind. We'll stay here for a few more moments with the eyes soft, and I'm going to read a poem by a meditation master, Guru Mai. She's a living meditation master, and she's written many books. In this beautiful poem she wrote, "Allow love to stream through the veins of your body. When there is love, the body becomes very supple. When there is love, the body becomes very supple. And sit with this for a few moments. Supple means soft and open. So let's bring our hands in front of our hearts, connecting with our heart space. And we'll open with one Om. Let's take a deep breath in. Bowing our heads towards our heart. Allowing the mind to be soft and sink into the heart space. Set an intention for your practice this evening. Mine is to open to the flow of grace that is always here. To allow myself to soften, become more supple with love as I open up to the flow of grace. Now let's open up our hands, open up our hearts, and let's bring the hands up overhead. Take the right hand to the left wrist. So we're going to keep this left sit bone rooted as we lift and stretch the whole left side of the body, stretching over to the right. Now let's take the chin to the chest, bring a little twist into the lower back. And come up. Now let's do the other side. Left hand to the right wrist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, over to the opposite side. The next breath, breathe into the whole right side of the body. Breathe into those ribs. Expanding the little muscles in between the ribs. Stretching and lengthening. On the next exhale, let's bend forward a little bit, bringing this into our lower back. Inhale, rise up. Release the hands. So we're going to interlace hands behind the back. Let's draw our shoulders up and back. Looping the shoulder blades onto the back. Hug the palms towards each other. Hands can be pressing into the sacrum here. And if you can straighten the arms, straighten them. Inhale, straightening the arms. Exhale, bringing the hands back to the sacrum. Lifting in the chest with the next breath. Exhale, straighten the arms. Beautiful. Release hands and shoulders. Let's shake out the hands a little bit here. Interlace palms and move the palms away from us. And inhale, arms up overhead. With a deep inhale. Now exhale, bring the hands behind the back, behind your head. And you're going to press the back of your head into your hands as you open up the elbows. Drawing shoulder blades onto the chest. Exhale, round forward, chin to the chest. Inhale, press back of the head into the hands, opening up. Exhale, rounding forward, chin to chest. Pull the navel in, round the upper body forward. Inhale, up. Beautiful. And release, hands to the earth. So you're going to take the right fingertips towards the floor and inhale, left arm up, palm facing towards your right side. So keep the hips rooted on your block or your blanket as you reach and stretch over to the right side. And let's see the other side. Inhale, reach up, stretch over to the left. Breathe into the side ribs. Exhale, extend the energy out through your top fingers. And let's come up and do the other side. Inhale, up. Exhale, reach and extend the energy out the top fingers. Inhale, up. And other side. Exhale, over. Beautiful. And let's come back. So let's come onto our toes. Come onto the toes, curl the toes under a little bit here. Hips heavy on the backs of the heels. Make the knees wide, and we'll come forward. Downward facing dog hands. So we're going to do a couple of cat and cow. Inhale, drop belly. Exhale, round the back like cat, chin to the chest. Inhale, drop belly, soften the heart, softening with the breath. Next, exhale, come to cat, chin to the chest, and now draw your hips back to the heels. Press your hands into your mat and inhale, lift the chin here. Deep inhale. Now expand the ribs in the back body, expand the ribs on the side body, and expand in the back body with your inhale. Exhale, push hands into the earth, pull navel in, and begin to bring the forehead to the earth. As you press your hands into the floor, try to keep a connection with the lower belly as you root your hips into your heels. Taking the breath deep in towards the hips. Exhaling, pushing your hands into the floor and pulling the navel in. Beautiful. Now release the toes, let the hips come back onto the heels. Inhale, let's walk the hands over the left thigh, stretching as we walk fingertips out. Exhale, soften over your left knee. Take a couple of breaths here. Expanding in the back body with the breath, exhaling, softening over the left thigh. Allowing the weight of your body to open up the front of the thighs. And let's walk the hands over to the other side. To the right side. Inhale, lengthening, walking fingertips out. Lift shoulders up by the ears. Expand in the back body with the breath. Exhale. Allow yourself to soften over your right thigh, your right knee. Take a couple of breaths here. Let's walk our hands back. Come onto all fours. And we're going to take our right foot in between our hands. And your left knee is going to face in the front of your mat. And let's come upright. So you're going to take our right arm and press it into our right thigh. Let them resist here. Let's take our left hand, pull this right sit bone down and in as we draw our tailbone down. Left hand to the hip, inhale, roll the left shoulder up and back, lift the heart. Now we're going to take our left hand and take it behind our head. Press the back of your head into your hand, gently lifting the chin, lifting your heart up to the sky. At the same time, your right arm is pressing into your right thigh. It's a big opening here. Keeping the heart and chin lifted, extend the left arm out and stretch over towards the right side. Wonderful. And let's bring the hands down, come back to all fours, and we're going to lower down to the mat. Interlace hands behind the back, shoulders loop up and back, lift up, and we'll come to a Shavasana. Lengthen from the heart out to the crown of the head, and out through the toes. Beautiful. Release hands under shoulders, we'll come to a Cobra. Let's bring shoulders up and back. Just open up in the upper body here a little bit. You can maybe shake back and forth a little. Tops of the feet pressed into the earth. Exhale, let's come to a puppy pose. Hands press into the earth, lifting chin. Exhale, forehead to the earth. Come to all fours. And we're going to take our left foot forward and you're going to shift your right foot behind. You'll see my back body here now. I'm going to take the left arm and place it inside of the left thigh. So this is very We're getting a lot of connection with the thigh and the arm. You can take your opposite hand. Let's take the left sit bone. Pull it in and up, down. Tucking the tailbone down. It's good to see the back body here so you can see it's a whole inner spiral on this left side. The top arm presses into the thigh, making a strong connection. Right hand to your hip, shoulder up and back, lift the heart. Let's take the hand behind the head, press the back of the head into the hand as you lift the heart, gently gazing upwards. Keep that lift as you extend up, top arm out. The top arm could just graze over your cheek. You'll feel a stretch from this bottom knee all the way through the side body, out to the fingertips. Beautiful. Rotate the arm down, and we'll come back to the earth and meet on our bellies. And let's lower down to the earth. And we're going to extend the right arm out and bring the left leg out and lengthen and stretch, and gently lift. And release, and we'll do the other side. You can bring the forearm in, your opposite forearm in front of you. Extend the left arm out, right leg. Lengthen, first reach and lengthen, and then gently lift. And release. So we'll push back to a puppy pose, a breath. Come to all fours, and we're going to meet in our first downward facing dog. Hands a little bit in front of the shoulders. But remember, if down dog is a little too much for you today for whatever reason, you could always come to all fours or come to puppy pose. So hands a little in front of the shoulders, claw the earth, press hands into the earth. As you lift the hips, come up high on the toes and take the feet as wide as your mat. Bend the knees, stick the hips up to the sky, and lift your chin and gaze in between your hands. Engaging into the lower belly like we did earlier with puppy pose. Press hands into the earth. As you shift hips away, bring head in between the arms. So let's move the head in between the arms here. You can shake it back and forth if you like. Now keep energy in the back body like we did earlier, like we have wings. Expand in the back body, keeping it nice and full. And now you can walk your feet, dropping one heel, then the other, as we walk the dog. Keep energy in your hands to keep the upper body and the arms strong. Beautiful. Inhale, lift the toes, bend the knees. Walk the feet towards the top of your mat. We're going to take our hands to the shins. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Hands to your shins if you like. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, rise up and bring hands up overhead. Hands in front of the heart into Anjali Mudra. And we'll come meeting in the middle of our mat in a Tadasana. Strong feet press into the earth. Strong knees. Hug muscle to bone. Draw the tailbone down and in. Lower abdominal muscles pull in all the way up. And we roll the shoulders up and back. Let's open up the hands to the sides. Now inhale and breathe into the back body like you have angel wings. Expanding and floating up. And exhaling, softening the shoulders down the back. Connecting with your breath. The suppleness that happens, the openness and softness that happens as we breathe. Deep inhale, long exhale, bring the hands up overhead. Stretch and reach. We're going to hook the thumbs and draw shoulders back towards the ears. Now, as you do this, you'll notice the ribs pop out. So with the next exhale, draw the navel in and draw the ribs back. And we're going to round forward, keeping the hands hooked, rounding forward, chin to chest. With an exhale, Inhaling, bring the hands back up, but keep your ribs pulling back. Don't let them pop out. Pull them back. And now we're going to do this again and come into an Ukatasana. So let's inhale, bring hands out in front, pulling the ribs back and sit back into your seat, into Ukatasana chair posture. And then keeping the hips heavy and the ribs pulled back, lift the hands up as you lift the heart. And breathe. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, let's bring the hands down. Hands in front of your heart, open up the hands and open up the legs. And the right foot is going to point away. It's going to intersect the back foot. And we'll come into Avirabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Gazing over front fingertips. And then we're going to straighten the front leg and come into a reverse warrior. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, Warrior 2. One last time. Keep the back leg strong. Exhale, warrior. Reverse warrior. Windmill the hands down to the earth. Bring the right foot back. Come either to plank or to the knees. Whatever works best for you, for your body today. And let's lower down to the earth. Let's come to a cobra, shoulders up and back. Exhale, come to a puppy posture. Staying connected with the flow of breath. Inhaling love into the body. Exhaling love into the world. Inhaling love into the back body, that energetic heart. Exhaling, softening. Next inhale, let's come to all fours and then downward facing dog. Inhale the left foot forward. In between your hands, drop the back heel, and we're going to come into our Warrior 2. Avirabhadrasana 2. Opening up from the heart out through the fingertips. Straighten the front leg, come to the reverse warrior. Inhale, Avirabhadrasana 2. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, Avirabhadrasana 2. Last one. And let's windmill the arms down. And bring the back foot. Come down to our knees. Push the hands back, forehead to the earth to a child pose. You can grab your heels, forehead to the earth. Let the weight of the body fall onto the thighs and breathe. Deep inhale into the back body. Exhaling, softening. Next inhale, place hands in front of you. Come to all fours. Let's bring the right foot in front of us as we come into a forward lunge. So let's bring our hands on top of the thigh, shoulders up and back, lengthening through the spine. Draw the ribs back here a little bit here as you press the hands into your thighs. Now hook the thumbs again like we did before and draw the hands up to the sky, opening up the heart, maybe gently gazing upwards if you have your stability. Beautiful. Releasing hands to the earth. Right foot back. And let's bring the left foot forward. Drop the back knee. Hands to the top thigh. Press hands into the thigh, roll shoulders up and back. So let's draw the ribs back, creating space between the torso and the thigh. Inhale, lengthening up through the heart. Connect to your breath and stillness here. So this might be perfect for you. If you have your balance, grab your thumbs, hook the thumbs, draw the arms back, opening up in the heart and chest, gently gazing upwards. And let's release the hands down to the earth. Let's come back to plank or come down to your knees. And we'll lower down to the earth. And we're going to extend the arms out in front of us. You can interlace the hands here or keep the hands straight if that's better for you. So press the hands into the edges of the hands into the earth. Lift the torso, pull it forward. And either lift your hands together or separate. Hug arms to the ears and stretch and lengthen through the side body. Now lift the legs. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, release. Push back the puppy pose. Shavasana is so good for strengthening and lengthening the back. And let's rise up. Let's come back to a downward facing dog or stay on all fours. Tops of the thighs moving back. Press hands into the earth. Inhale the right leg up. Bring the right knee in between the hands and take the foot in between the hands. Drop the back heel and we're going to come into Avirabhadrasana 1. So I'm going to hover over the front thigh here. Again, hook the thumbs like we did earlier. Now draw the ribs back as you lift the hands up to the sky. And press the back foot into the earth energetically. Pulling the ribs back. Now press into the front foot, lifting in the heart. If you can sink a little more in the front hip, then you can do that. Not necessary. Now draw the ribs back a little more. See if you can draw your ribs back more, Clara. Beautiful. Use the hands. Wonderful. And release the hands to the earth. Now pivot the back toes so that both feet are facing towards your mat. Left hand presses into the mat and open up the right arm. If you need to drop the back knee, you can do that. And twist and open. Wonderful. Now we'll drop the back knee. Heel toe your right foot so it's right underneath your heart. Come to the edge of the foot and let the knee fall over towards the right. It looks like this. So your edge of a foot is pressing into the floor. Hands root into the earth. So you can either come down to your elbows or stay on your hands, whatever is best for you right now. It's a pretty deep opening in the hip. Take a deep inhale, long exhale, softening into the hips here. Take another breath. And now you're going to take your foot and draw it in, and we'll move into a pigeon prep. Drawing your right heel towards your left hip. Curl the back toes under. Keep this back leg active. Let's take the left hand and take the inside of left thigh. Rotate the inside the thigh up towards the sky. Brings that left hip forward. Let's walk our hands back here. Press both knees into the earth and inhale, rise up. So you're going to have two options here. You can stay here, or you can practice your balance and your strength as you hug the knees together, creating that Muladhara Bandha, strengthening the pelvic floor. And grab the thumbs like we did earlier and draw the hands back, pull knees together and lift in the heart. And then we'll come down to the earth. You can rock back and forth a little, softening, becoming more supple in the body as you bring your awareness to the heart space, breathing in love into the body. Exhaling love into your world. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths. You can bring your awareness to the Ujjayi breath if you like, or the Samavriti breath, which is the even breath. You could breathe in for 5 and exhale for 5. Keeping the breath smooth and even. Or if you want to use a mantra, I like to breathe in Om Namah Shivaya and exhale Om Namah Shivaya. So do what feels the most nourishing for you. We'll stay here for a couple more breaths. Breathing into the back body. And exhaling, softening in the back body. Softening in the hips. You can stay here, or if you want to move a little deeper, you can take your hands towards the opposite side, the left side, and plant the hands into the floor like downward facing dog arms. And you're going to press the hands into the earth. So I'm facing towards the, and as I press hands into the earth, I'm rooting my right sit bone towards the floor. So this creates an even deeper opening here. And then drawing the ribs back and rooting into the hips here with the exhale. Inhale, expanding into the back body. Exhale, pull the navel in and root the hips towards the earth. Softening forward, just moving a little deeper into the hips. So this is an option here if you want to move a little deeper. So let's walk the hands back to center. Let's take the back hand and bring this back leg around, and we're going to come into a seated twist. Bring the front foot in front of the right knee. Those come onto both hands, get both the sit bones here on the earth. So let's take your left hand behind. So I want you to walk it pretty far behind here. So not to have your hand here. Create a more space between the hips and your hand to really create some more length in the spine. Your right hand to your left knee. And your front heel comes just onto the side of your right knee. So right hand to your left knee, inhale, lengthen, exhale, twisting. Bless me. Inhale, lengthening, exhale, twisting towards the left. Inhale, lengthening, and exhale, twisting. Let's walk the back hand a little more in towards the hips now, keeping the length. And exhale, twisting. If you want to go a little deeper, you can take your elbow inside of the knee. It's an option. It's not, you don't need to. Lengthen and twist. And we're going to release and going to take, again, we have options. So if you have your block or blanket, you can place it underneath your sit bones to stack your knees. If you don't want the block or blanket, you don't have to. You can come like this. So I like to give you the options. Press the hands on top of the thighs, rooting your thighs into the earth, and inhale, lengthen up. Breathing the breath into that heart space, the energetic heart space, and inhaling, continuing, expanding up to the open space, the open sky of possibility, opening up with the breath. And if you want to, on the next exhale, you can round forward. options. You can stay upright, or you can take your hands in front of us, just like we did earlier, and root the palms into the earth, pressing the earth away from you, and you're drawing your sit bones to the earth. Now rounding forward, with the next exhale, pull the navel in, rounding forward, rooting the sit bones into the earth. And breathe here. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Deep inhale, expanding in the back body, expanding your angel wings. Exhaling, rooting the sit bones into the earth as you press the hands into the floor away from you. And now you can just soften forward, softening into that suppleness, softening into the breath, allowing the breath to flow in and out, allowing the body to drape itself over the thighs, embracing yourself. Next, inhale, rise up. I did this in my practice today, and I really enjoyed it with the breath and just really going deep into the hips. So extend the legs out in front of you, shake them out. We're doing some deep opening. Hands behind, fingertips towards you. Roll shoulders up and back, and lift the hips here. You can let the head drop back or keep it level. And let's lower down to the earth here, onto our back for a couple of breaths. Let's pull the legs in, hug the knees to the chest. And gonna rock up. Come to all fours. Stay on all fours or downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Extend the toes out, and then bring your left knee into the chest, gaze at the floor behind you, and see if you can take the foot in between your hands. Beautiful. Drop the back heel. So we're gonna come up to a warrior one, hands to the top thigh, shoulders up and back. So we have some options here. You can stay here, press energy into the back leg, or hook the thumbs and draw shoulders up and back, drawing the ribs back. Press your front foot into the earth, and then maybe sink into the hips a little bit. Keep energy in both legs. Beautiful. And let's bring the hands down to the earth, pivot on the back toes. So you can bring knee to the earth or keep it extended, right hand to the floor and open up and twist to the opposite side. Heart shines out. Beautiful. Hand back down to the earth. Drop the back knee now. Heel toe your foot so it's underneath the heart. And now you're going to come onto the edge of the foot. Flex this left foot. So I like to kind of rock back and forth here a little bit. Bringing the foot underneath the heart. It gets a little deeper into our whole left leg and thigh and hip here. Let's just rock back and forth a little. If you want to even scooch the back knee back to go a little deeper into the opening, you could do that. Going deeper into the hip. So now you're going to bring your heel towards your opposite hip more, or a pigeon pose. So it's a nice way to get into it because it really helps to open up this hip and prepare us for a pigeon. So the back foot, curl the toes under and lift the back knee. So to help align that back leg. You don't want the foot collapsing. And we're going to take our right hand, grab the inside of the right thigh, and rotate it up to the sky, bringing your right hip more forward. So you feel more of an alignment of your pelvis with the front of the mat. Beautiful. So we got a couple options. You can stay here, just right here, and kind of move with the breath and rock back and forth. Or if you want to go a little deeper into the posture and to build more strength in the pelvic floor, hug the knees towards each other like scissors, engaging in these your pelvic floor muscles, Muladhara Bandha, pull them up and in. We're gonna hook the thumbs like we've been doing today, draw the shoulders back, lift the heart, gazing upwards. And with our angel wings, we'll release down to the mat. So keep the knees actively pressing into the earth, drawing towards each other with an inhale. Exhale, releasing and softening more to the earth. Do that as much as you like to help open up a little more in the hips and strengthening the pelvic floor. Bringing the breath to the back body, expanding in the ribs. Exhaling, softening in the ribs. Maybe you soften forward. Maybe you take hands to a block or head to your hands. So whatever works for you. And we'll stay here for a couple more breaths. Breathing in love. Exhaling, softening, finding that suppleness in our body. As we take this time to take care of ourselves, nourish ourselves with deep breaths. Breathing in love, exhaling love. So you can stay here or walk your hands over to the right side. Downward facing dog hands, press the hands into the earth, pushing away. Deep inhale, expand those angel wings on your back body. Exhale, pull the navel in and root the left hip towards the mat. Keep the back leg active with toes curled under. So take a couple breaths like this. Inhale, expanding the back body. Exhaling, rooting the left hip away. You can draw the chin towards the chest, rounding forward. Wonderful. Bring the hands back. And we'll bring the back leg around. So let's first extend the legs out in front, stretch them out, fingertips towards us, roll shoulders up and back. Let's lift the hips here. Point the toes, open up in the shoulders and the legs. Wonderful. And now we're gonna take the right leg in. No, I'm sorry, it's the opposite. The right knee over the left leg. So I know that's what it is for me. You might be doing opposite. So your heel is right outside your knee. Walk your hand back. Walk it away from your body at first. The front hand clasps the knee. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. And we'll stay here for a couple of breaths. If you like, the next inhale, bring your hand a little closer. Helps you move a little deeper into the twist if you want. And maybe you take the elbow to the knee. It's just an option. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, twisting from the belly. Soften in your neck and jaw. And we'll come back. So now we're going to come into Ukatasana legs. If you want to have your block underneath your hips or blanket to lift up, you can do that. You can have your legs like this, or if you can, stack one knee over the other. Pull the buttocks out, get more onto the sit bones. So organize yourself the best you can. If you want to sit up on a block or blanket, that will help to reduce any tension in your thighs. Good, I see some good adjustments. Inhale, press hands into the thighs, drawing your thighs towards each other, and inhale, lengthening up. So you can stay here, or if you like, you can come forward. This is an option. I like to give you options because all of our bodies are different, and from day to day we're different. So if I do different options, only do it if it feels good for you. So we've been working with this engagement of pressing hands into the earth. Inhale, expanding in those angel wings on the back body. Exhaling, pulling navel in, rounding forward and rooting your hips into the earth. And stay here for a couple of breaths. As you round forward, see if you can keep the tone in the lower belly, and you can move into an ujjayi breath here, and keeping hands pressing into the earth. It's very nice, actually. The breath, the ujjayi breath, helps to soften the hips to the earth. And just imagine you're breathing in love into your hips, opening up the hips and exhaling and softening. Stay here for a couple more breaths. And you can totally release your body towards the thighs if you like. And one more deep inhale and long exhale. Wonderful. And come up. And you're going to take the right leg out and open. And let's take the left leg out and open. So we're not trying to open as wide as we can. We're just opening up to be able to open up inside our thighs here. So let's take the whole right thigh, do an inner spiral, pulling the right buttocks out. Do an inner spiral on the left leg, pull the whole left buttocks out. Good, so you're more on the sit bones. Inhale, root the tops of the thighs into the earth. So let's take the hands behind us, fingertips on the earth, right shoulder, left shoulder back. Flex your feet, rooting these tops of the thighs into the earth. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, pressing these thighs into the earth and flexing your feet. And just stay here for a couple of breaths. So your legs, if they're open too much, then you're not able to engage with the muscles. So we don't want them as wide as you can. You want to be able to keep enough energy to be able to engage in the muscles. Beautiful. So you're going to take this left leg and bend the knee. Take the left foot to the right. So we already opened up with our inner spiral here. So you're going to take the left hand. If you have a strap, you can use a strap around your left foot and take your right hand over to the right side. Or you can take your hand outside of the left shin or grab the foot. Inhale, lengthening. And exhaling, pulling yourself forward. Inhale, breathing into the back body in those angel wings. Exhaling, softening forward. So you can stay here and breathe. Keep strong legs. Or if you want to, take your right hand and bring it on the inside of your foot. You can do that. Lift elbows to the sky with an inhale and breathe into the back body. Expand and then exhale, pull yourself forward, forehead towards the knee. So wherever you're at, we'll stay here for a couple of breaths. Beautiful. Take the left hand behind you. Inhale, stretch up. Extend the right fingertips up and over. And we'll come back. Let's bring this right leg in and the left leg out. Jani Shavasana on the opposite side. So you could take your right foot and bring it to meet the inside of the left foot. Let's do a inner spiral here. Spiral the thigh in and pulling the buttocks out, rooting this left sit bone on the earth. So take your left hand over to the left. You can have your strap around the foot or hand to the outside of your thigh and lengthen and twist, or take your hand outside of the foot. Yogi's choice. Inhaling, lengthening, expanding in the back body. Exhaling, pulling yourself forward. Inhale, expand into the back body. Hug muscles to the bone here. Exhale, softening. So if you want to take the other hand, you can leave it out to the left here or bring it inside. Grab the foot. Inhale, lift elbows, expand. Exhale, pull forehead towards the knee. And we'll stay here for a couple of breaths. Remember, keep strong knees. You can come to your Ujjayi breath here. It's very nice and calming and loving. It supports the body to open up and soften, to become more supple. Inhale, Om Namah Shivaya. Exhale, Om Namah Shivaya. And let's rise up. Come onto our back body. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock back and forth a little bit here. So let's hug the right knee in, extend the left leg out to the earth. Extend the right leg up and press the thigh into the hands. If you need to keep this left knee bent, you can do that. Press thigh into the hands, stretch the heel up to the sky. Beautiful. You're going to let the leg open up to the right now. You can hold the leg with your hand, or you can grab the edge of the right foot and open up the leg and push it into the hand. Bring the leg in, pull the right knee in for a half happy baby. Beautiful. Now I'm going to extend the leg to the sky. So you can have your hand on the edge of the foot or bring hands behind the thigh. Yogi's choice. And then release the leg. Bring the left knee in, hug it to the knee. Extend the leg to the sky, press thigh into the hands. So you're trying to ground this left hip into the earth here and breathe. So open up the leg to the left here. Support it with the hand or take your hand on the outside of the left foot and open it up. Bring the knee in, half baby. Extend the leg back to the sky. Maybe hold it with your hand. You can hold the big toe or behind the leg. And release the leg. Beautiful. So let's bring the legs, bend the knees. Going to cross the right over the left. Maybe you can hook the right toes around the leg. Bump the hips over to the right and stretch the legs over to the left. Bring the hands up overhead and grab the elbows. And gaze over to your right and breathe here. Deep inhale to the hips. Exhaling, softening. Deep inhale, long exhale, releasing in the belly, releasing in the neck and jaw. Bring everything back to center. Release the legs, bump them back to center. And now let's take the left leg over the right, hook the toes. Now take the hips over to the left and let them fall over to the right. Lift both shoulders. You can take elbows to the earth. Lift both shoulders up. Get them both on the floor.
Now switch the grip of the arms crossing, grabbing elbows, gaze over to the left or straight ahead, whatever's best for your neck. Inhale to the hips. You might feel muscle deep inside the belly here. It connects to the pelvis and to the our spine. It's the psoas. It's a tricky muscle, not so easy to get, not so easy to open up, but it gets tight and constricted when we do a lot of sitting. So I can feel mine on this side. And it's deep inside the belly here. If you get a massage, you have to move your fingers in between the abdominal muscles to be able to reach it, and it's very sensitive. So this twist, and then we're going to do one more, helps to get to that psoas muscle, to release deep into the belly. So exhale long. Inhale deep, exhale long. Allowing the posture to do its work and soften and open. The deep abdominal muscles softening in the organs, in the hips, in the spine. Let's come back. Hug knees in. Let's rock back and forth. So sometimes, in these yoga postures, we are opening up muscles that you don't usually address, or affect. So sometimes afterwards you'll feel a little sore because you're starting to open and strengthening muscles that you're not used to. And if you're just doing that once or twice a week, you're going to continually feel sore, and then you'll feel some relief. But if you find that there's a particular posture that helps you, then it's good to do a little bit of it, just a couple minutes a day, and you'll find some real deep, lasting effect. So let's take the feet to the earth. I'm going to take the right foot to the left knee and let them fall over to the right. And extend the arms up overhead. Take the right hand to the left wrist. And we're going to stretch the hands over to the right. So you can keep your right heel on top of the thigh, or you can press the foot into your left thigh. Maybe that helps you to open up more. And we're affecting the psoas again in a different way here. That deep abdominal muscles. And breathe. And let's go to the other side. Bring the hips back to center, left heel on top of the left thigh. Let them fall over to the left, and we're going to take the opposite wrist, left hand to the right wrist, and pull and stretch. So you can keep the heel heavy on top of the thigh, or try pressing your heel into the top of the right thigh. Just play with it. See if that moves you even deeper into the abdominal muscles here and hip. Opening, breathing and stretching, and breathe, move with the breath, and only move as far as it feels good in your opening and stretching. And release. Let's extend feet out, hands to the side, and we're going to come into a Shavasana for just a couple of minutes. Let feet fall to the side, shoulders are heavy, roll to the sides. The heart space is open, bringing the awareness to the breath. Just notice how when the body softens, the edges of the heart soften. Maybe your thoughts
become more supple, more loving towards yourself. Stay here with the awareness on the breath in the center of the chest of the heart space. With deep breaths in as you breathe love into the whole body. This golden light. And exhale. Anything your body wants to let go of, breathe it out like smoke. Inhale golden light, healing light into the body. Deep exhale. We'll stay here for another minute. Breathing in light into every cell of the body. Exhaling, extending the fingers up overhead, stretching the arms, stretching the toes. Bending knees, rolling over to one side. And we'll meet in a seated posture to close class. Let's practice coming to our stillness in our seated posture. Thighs rooted into the earth, shoulders up and back. Bringing awareness to the breath and the heart space. Resting in your stillness. It just takes a moment to connect to that love inside. We'll stay here for 1 minute. Inhale, Om Namah Shivaya. Exhale, open up the hands, open up the heart. Let's bring our hands in front of our heart space. We'll take a deep breath in and chant one Om. Inhale. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you everybody for joining. So wonderful to see you live and those that are joining us in the recording. Big love to you too. Hope everyone has a beautiful night. Namaste. See you next time on the mat.